Greg Powers, Dave Campbell's Texas Football, and I'm joined here by four-star wide receiver at Lovejoy High School, Parker Livingstone. Man, it's been really busy for you on the recruiting trail. We'll get to like the recruiting talk in a second, because I want to talk about the business that you got to take care of here for your high school team. It was a good year last year, but I know you guys wanted to win that state championship. Your guys are out here in the off season grinding. You're actually in baseball too. Well, I guess you're a tri-sport athlete, really. Also runs track. Why don't you just kind of talk about, the focus of the team, your teammates? You're going to be a senior next year, so I know that you probably take some of that leadership serious.
Right. Yeah. We didn't finish how we wanted to last year, and we have a big goal this year is to win state, and that's been our goal the past 2 years, and we've just fallen short. And so that kind of has to do with some of the leadership that's been going on, and kind of what we do in the weight room. So we're changing everything. We're gonna come out more physical and ready to win.
Kind of talk about playing in I would guess it's the best wide receiving core in the state last year. You had Kyle Parker going on to LSU. You had Jackson Lavender, who's at SMU. And still, there's a ton of talent coming back next year. As a matter of fact, out of that group, you were the highest rated guy. So, I guess I got to put you a peg at the top. But you also got some younger guys, Dalen McCutcheon. Maybe even if Jalen Lott plays some wide receiver. There's a lot of talent coming back on this team. Are you excited to be like the leader of that group now?
It's going to be fun. We're just going to go out there and compete every day and practice and on Friday nights. And we're going to go out there. We're going to try to get the win every week. And we're going to try to get the ring around our finger.
I know that you're hungry for that ring, but while you go and try to pursue that state championship, you have to deal with the recruiting process a little bit, and you have 30 scholarship offers. We'd be standing here all day if I asked you about every single one of those. So I kind of picked out some off of the list that I felt like it would be important to ask you about as you go through this recruiting process. I'm going to start in-state with the in-state schools. Texas, the Longhorns, is a school that seems to be really pursuing you very aggressively. What is it that keeps the Longhorns in your mix? Why do you like that school? Why is it a realistic option?
Yeah, they got a new receiver coach, Chris Jackson, and he coached in the NFL forever, and this is his first year in college. And my ultimate dream is to make it to the NFL, and he knows what the NFL receivers look like and how they are, and so that'd be a great fit for me to go and go under him and see how everything is.
I took a recent unofficial visit there. What kind of stood out? What was their pitch to you while they had you on campus? I know that they probably tried to make you envision yourself on their team.
Yeah, I know Coach Sark. We had a long meeting, and it was a great time. We talked about everything. We talked about football. We talked about everything, and he's a great coach. And we actually had a FaceTime last night, and he's just a great person to talk to.
I know that I'm going to talk about some other schools, and I'm not specifically asking you this about Texas, but how cool is it? Like you say, I talked to Coach Sark.
Yeah.
Are you a college football fan? Is it like kind of surreal sometimes to talk to head coaches in college football?
Yeah, we went in the meeting, and I was kind of like, wow, I'm one-on-one right now with the head coach of University of Texas. And that's how it is at a lot of places. When I was at Arkansas and I was with Pittman for like 3 hours straight, it was a great time. And, so it's been fun.
That's really cool, man. Going to keep it in state. Texas A&M, they're in the SEC now. Texas is transitioning to the SEC. What is it about the Aggies that sticks out to a guy at Lovejoy, Texas?
Yeah, their culture and kind of how their offense is. They got a new OC this year, and I was talking about their offense they're going to run, and it's going to be fun. They're going to have a great offense, and Texas A&M. How do you beat SEC football? And so they got great receivers. They've always had great receivers. It's just a great culture there.
That was Bobby Petrino, the new offensive coordinator over there at Texas A&M. South Carolina, not a school that a lot of guys from Texas talk about, but I know that they have a good offensive-minded coach.
Right, yeah. Dow Loggins, their OC, he came from Arkansas. He was a tight end coach, and me and him had a great relationship at Arkansas. And he started recruiting me when we got to South Carolina. It's been awesome. I love their receiver coach, Coach Stepp, and their head coach, Coach Beamer. On my birthday, I actually had a virtual visit to South Carolina, and it was awesome. It was awesome.
Florida State in Florida, that Seminoles, you've been there for an unofficial visit, actually. What stood out to you about Tallahassee? And I don't know about you, man, but that's like a school that I grew up, like when I was younger, like FSU was the place to go.
I love their coaches. Coach Norvell is a great coach, great offensive coach. He's been, they had a great year this past year with where they go like 9. They got a bunch of wins. And I like
Great bowl game.
Yeah, great bowl game. I like their receiver coach. I like their tight end coach. I like their offense they run. They had the most yards receivers this year, and so it's FSU. Can't really beat it at Florida State, but yeah.
I know that you guys got state championship aspirations here. When it comes down to it, I mean, when are you wanting to try to get this decision out of the way? Are you like, oh, I got to get this out of the way before the season, or do you feel like, man, I got to ride this thing out to the end?
No, I'm gonna get my top schools figured out here in the next month, and then I'm gonna take my officials early in June, and I'm gonna commit by July.
I know all the recruiting fans are going to be waiting with bated breath on that list, man, to see if they made the cut. Parker Livingstone out here at Lovejoy High School, man. Thanks for the time and good luck with your upcoming senior season as you navigate through this recruiting process.
Yes, sir. Thank you.